There are so many stories connected with the Star Hotel. Pretty amazing. The late proprietor, Alan Hendry, who is the proprietor, during the bulk of the 1980s, actually, ran a absolutely fabulous establishment, and the bar was always busy, the lounge, the food was fantastic. There was always functions and regular discos. The Crieff Karate Club, who held regular discos. I mean, he didn't want to mess with these door people. They're all black belts and brown belts and stuff, but we had a kind of love-hate relationship with them. They used to find us quite antagonising, but also a bit of fun as well, eh? I mean, even to the stage when I eventually got to, I'll come to that story, but when I eventually got banned, my purpose on a Friday evening was always to try and get into the disco by any means, and I always succeeded, even being carried in a black bucket, one of those curbside refuge buckets they used to use before wheelie bins. I've been in a cardboard box as a special delivery, and obviously climbed in the windows and stuff like that. But Alan Hendry was a great guy. I say the late proprietor because he sadly died just a few years back, and he was a wonderful, wonderful person, and a lot of time from him. And he commented many years later, actually, that despite all the headaches, he found us tremendously funny. Some of the antics and that, but the couple of stories I'll give you in this one, well, I suppose the best way to start is when I eventually, I mean, the only time I've ever seen Alan Hendry upset. I mean, his wife and his son Adrian ran a really, really good place, as I say, but Adrian, he was in charge of the discotheque, He played the music and stuff, and but on this occasion I'd gone in pre-prepared, and what I tell you is completely bizarre. Remember, this was back in the mid-1980s, at a time when there wasn't that many people who were involved in illicit drug taking and stuff like that. You see, but what I did was I'd gone in and bought some demerara sugar and corn flour, and I filled these little packs, these cling film type packs, and with the seals on them. And what I did was I set at a table at the very top end of the disco, and I already pre-written the cards. And I mean, I'd literally piles of these. Piles of this brown sugar, this demerara sugar in one level, the white corn flour, and also I had taken some herbs and dried them out and stashed them into these cling film sacks. Not cling film, but these little plastic pokes you had. And I labelled each of the at the front. I had a big sign, and it said drugs for sale. And I had heroin, cocaine, was it amphetamine, and cannabis. And I stood there like as if I was selling oranges and lemons. And I remember, I won't give his name, but one of my acquaintances or friends came up, and he could not believe it. He said, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm just setting up a stall, You should get yourself," because he was convinced that they're the real thing, you see, but it's all just fakery. But obviously, someone who a keen eye had obviously reported me down to the management, well, the owner, and as I say, poor Mr. Henry was rather irate, to say the least, and he grabbed me by the throat. He said, "What the fuck do you think?" Well, I'm just selling a few bits and pieces, and literally taken by the throat and completely horsed out on the street. And oh, it was really, really funny as anything. But another time, before the event of being banned, this is true, this is absolutely true, and I'm just speaking from memory as well today, but obviously these come up in conversation with friends who remember the period. But one of Trotsky, one of my fellow group members, drove a Ford Fiesta hatchback, a little blue machine. I don't know if you remember them. It was no windows in the back, but it's like a van. But anyway, so after the disco on a Friday night, he never drank any alcohol at all in his life. I don't think I've ever seen him drink. But anyway, he drove down, and we had it kind of pre-planned. I had this amazing art and technique. I don't recommend anyone trying this, but I kind of like a stuntman. And what I used to do was, I could launch myself into a vehicle, a moving vehicle, knowing the right spot to hit, and would be tossed into the air and land crashing down on the tarmac. I used to do it quite a lot at the James Square, just with the telephone boxes out, until a local policeman came and said, "Ever see that? You doing that again?" Blah blah blah. Because it was a red Audi, and I timed it perfectly. And of course, I went about at least 15 feet in the air, and and lay down and crashed down. And anyway, this night outside the Star Hotel, it was kind of prearranged. A lot of people all milling around after the disco, and Trotsky drove up the high street, and we knew what was happening, so we both together, it was perfect. I ran out, he slammed on the brakes, I hit the bonnet and went flying into the air, and but I wasn't hurt, you see. But I landed, and as I landed, I rolled under his the front wheels of his car, and immediately Alan Hendry, who'd been milling around in the doorway checking on, the clubbers all leaving in peace, he immediately ran over, and he was quite frantic, and there was a few shouts and screams and stuff from the onlookers, but they all kind of knew if it was us, there must be some sort of antic at play. But Alan didn't, and of course when he leaned down to see if I was okay, I shouted out, "It's the Messiah! It's the Messiah!" And Trotsky got out his vehicle, and Trotsky got a brilliant voice for this. He was really loud, and he was shouting to everyone, "The Messiah's returned!" And we all got down on our knees and started putting our arms out in front of ourselves in praise of Alan Henry as being the Messiah, that he saved my life. And there must have been 20 or 30 people at the same time. It was fucking mental, actually. And but he recalled these events with great charm, and that's the way that they were done, and the way they should have been put down in memory for that reason. I mean, the Crieff Karate Club guys were actually brilliant. I won't mention any of the names as such, but it was literally a love-hate relationship, because guaranteed. I mean, there was never any badness or what do you call it? Trouble. So it was just kind of silly, crazy things we would do. But the stories of the Crieff Hotel, or sorry, the Star Hotel, that latterly became the Crieff Hotel. Of course, it's in ruins now. Just amazing, and I have very, very fond memories of that establishment in all respects of everything. It was really good days. I mean, my 21st birthday was held there. I was able to negotiate with Alan to try and get a return into premises when he discovered that the packages I had for sale were in fact brown sugar and corn flour and just some old herbs, all chopped up and dried chopped herbs. But on my 21st, the whole family gathered for a pretty fabulous meal actually, and I was kitted out with my bow tie and tuxedo. Looked very, very smart indeed, but I was wearing Wellingtons, folded down Wellingtons as well. And I remember my girlfriend at the time, we both of us slow dancing in the centre of the floor at the end of the evening as everyone's singing happy birthday sort of stuff to me. And just this sight of me in this wonderful tuxedo and stuff with these mucky Wellingtons. And I mean, Alan Henry couldn't believe I'd done that as well. And, yeah, so I mean, just so many particular occurrences that happened within the hotel unit. Lots of fabulous memories. I don't remember them all, of course. I mean, there's lots of ones that are brought up in conversation if I meet old friends and remember that. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, I forgot that one. And but the list is endless. It was just such joy.